Mike Football.
Kill.
Hey, alert three.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll run with a 3rd-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
From the 22, Prescott. This to Jarwin. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
Kill. Check 52. 26.
Throwing, Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on 1st down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jameis Olawale, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. And an alley to run. And all the way down to the 26. A big play here for Dallas. 54 yards on the ground. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a first and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's first and 10. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right?
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Malik Collins, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Another try after the first down sack. Trubisky, he completes this into the hands of Miller. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, right there. Hey, wahoo! Gotta do better. Come on, go.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Here's Austin. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here. They could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Looking deep for Elliott. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw is Prescott. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Alert, 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 alert.
Here's Trubisky. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a 1st down for Chicago.
First down.
First down, a run with Cohen. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to him back.
Hey, Charlie.
On 2nd down and 4. Trubisky to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Throwing here, Trubisky. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait till the season's over. But he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that drive began at their own 3. They wind up getting 3 out of it.
And to me, the mentality to begin the drive, that was probably the key to everything. Let's just make sure we take care of the football, give ourselves some room, and maybe punt it away. Instead, it started at the 3, and it ended with 3 points.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Prescott. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 22. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run a middle order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Now it's Trubisky going for it all. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that'll make it 3rd down. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. The kick by Pinheiro is good. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Cohen. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. On third down, it's Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the number, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
54, right there, 54.
Come on out here, come get some.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now Trubisky. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Prescott. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Caught by Cobb. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how
and now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Aaron Lynch able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From the shotgun again to Elliott. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
3rd and long for Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
54 Mike. Watch QB draw. Watch QB draw.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's it, baby.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Come on, D.
Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas. Cohen lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Meanwhile, here, a run on 1st down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. So now they operate back from their side of the field here, 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Prescott now from the 50. That's caught inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
58, right there. Right here, right here. Hey, watch it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because
and for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary in that last possession, though.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Mike 54. You're trash. You're trash. Mike 54. Mike 54.
They run the jet sweep with Patterson, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 9.
Mike, get up. 180. Mike 54. I'm coming.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.